everybody. I appreciate you all being here, being on time. We are going to talk about public speaking. We have one objective. For this next 20 minutes, the goal, when you walk out of here, your public speaking ability will increase tenfold. Be 10 times more effective with a very small little tool, a bit of information I'm going to teach you. Now, I know from the pre-survey that you guys all filled out, we appreciate that. You all do some form of public speaking for your jobs. A lot of you do different things. Some of you, I know, do public speaking for very large audiences, and some of you do very small. What we're about to teach you will apply regardless of the size of your audience. Now, when you're doing your public speaking, you're always talking, of course, right? What are some other ways that you are communicating when you're up in front of a group?
Writing.
Writing. Writing is another form. Good. What else?
Eye contact.
Eye contact.
Body language.
Body language. Exactly. All of those are great. What I want to focus on today, that little thing I mentioned, effective use of body language. Lauren, what is body language? What do you mean by that?
It's really a form of nonverbal communication. We sometimes don't even know what we're communicating with our body.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. What you do with your body, your gestures, your hands, the way you move, actually communicates more to your audience a lot of times than what you're saying. It's very important to be a very effective teacher, trainer, public speaker, communicator, to understand how you're using your body language, if it's actually adding to your message or if it's detracting. All right, so a couple of things. Does anyone like TED Talks?
Oh, yeah.
All right, what are some of your favorite TED Talkers?
Simon Sinek.
Simon Sinek. Who else? He's very popular. So there's Vanessa Van Edwards. She works on scienceofpeople.com, and she did a huge study looking at all the different TED Talks. So she compared those that have gone viral, like the Simon Sinek's, he got 7 million downloads, versus those that did not, that had a very small audience interest. During that exploration, so they found out one of the common factors that would predict whether a TED Talk went viral or not was the number of hand gestures that the speaker used. So they even brought in a subset of people, and they would show these videos and mute the sound, and then ask them what do they prefer. They would rate them, and consistently, the ones with the more gestures got higher ratings. So an average TED Talk, were they 14 minutes? The best ones are over 400 different gestures that complement what they're saying. Now, was anyone ever told when you were younger or any time in your life that you need to limit your hand gestures so people can focus on your words? Oh, me too. And I was trying to sit on my hand. It's really hard for me not to use my hands. It's natural. We're supposed to do it, and it actually is, that advice was wrong. That advice was wrong. We want to do the opposite. We want to start using them effectively. Okay, we're going to watch a short video clip. Has anyone ever seen The Big Bang Theory?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Who's your favorite character?
Sheldon.
Sheldon. All right, we are going to learn from Sheldon. We are going to watch the first half of it. He's doing his, what's the podcast he does, or the YouTube videos that teach you? Who knows? What subject does he teach?
The flag one?
What's that?
Fun with flags. Fun with flags. So we're going to watch his body language, and in your opinion, let me know, or start, as you watch it, think, hey, this is, in my opinion, a good use of body language, or what could he do different? So, okay.
Hello, I'm Dr. Sheldon Cooper. Welcome to Sheldon Cooper Presents Fun with Flags. Fun with Flags is not just for the flag aficionado, it's also for the flag novice. So to help me with that, please welcome my friend, neighbor, and flag virgin, yet not a real virgin, Penny.
Hello.
So Penny, I understand you would like to learn more about flags.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've been at a party where everyone's talking about flags and I just couldn't join in.
Well, you came to the right place.
I'm sorry, can we just pause for a minute?
All right, opinions, thoughts on his hand gestures and body language. What did that communicate to you?
Dry.
Dry?
Had like two,
Good
didn't you?
time. You had what?
Had two.
Oh, yeah, remember, yes, totally, I love you cannot, and right.
It's
So,
usually the box,
Usually
Oh,
tense.
yeah.
tense.
No eye
Tense,
contact,
yeah.
like eye contact at all.
No eye contact. Why is eye contact important? I know you brought that up
Yeah.
earlier.
Well, it
Why is
shows
eye
that you're
contact
paying
important?
attention to who you're talking to.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, now let's see. Penny's going to give him some advice, and we'll see if we're right. Penny's the authority on that, right?
What's wrong?
I just think it might look more natural if you talk to me instead of the camera. You know, like a real conversation. It's something we work on in my acting class.
Interesting. A few people in the comments section have said that my delivery is robotic. Perhaps that isn't the compliment it sounds like.
Yeah, let's try it again. And maybe this time you could work on your body language a bit. You know, when you're all hunched like that, you're shutting the audience out. But when you're relaxed and open, you're inviting them in.
Right. And which one do I want?
Let's try open.
Our friend the flag's taught me anything is to go where the wind takes you, as long as you remain firmly attached to a rigid pole. Good news, the latest episode of Fun with Flags is online.
Oh, that's right. How'd it go with Penny?
Much better than I expected. She even gave me some helpful tips about acting and body language. Watch. Welcome to my world. Not welcome to my world. Welcome, not welcome.
Subtle but powerful.
I know. I'm still learning to control it.
Has anyone seen that episode before? No. All right, so what do you think? What other things did, the main thing that Penny focused on, what was that?
Body language.
Body language specifically, what actual, well, you only remembered one. Right.
Being open and natural.
Facing her.
Facing her.
Open, closed. But I mean, she gave other tips, but to remember one, that's fantastic. So the key component to effective body language that will help your audience stay engaged and learn more is openness. Spelled like that. Okay. So, suppose I'm up here and I'm giving a talk or something and I'm like this. It's not a bad thing. What could be the potential problem with speaking to people with closed body language, where you're hiding this part of your body?
You seem uncomfortable.
Okay. And when they
Little-
yes, thank you.
a little
Vicky.
uncomfortable.
Yes. So when I exhibit discomfort or I'm nervous, human beings see that, and then they start feeling those same emotions. So if I model, this is kind of a fear pose, or it could be, I don't want to be here. This is your heart area. You don't want to cover up your heart very often when you're doing your public speaking, because it will make people feel like, oh, she's nervous, or she's hiding something. Very good. Okay, why don't we try some different techniques all together? See if we can practice some of our openness. Now, actually, you know what, the next section I'm going to do, we're going to talk about gestures to do, gestures you should not do, and then sometimes. All right. Everyone please stand up. this. This pose here, they call it palms to ceiling. Palms to ceiling. When I do this, if you'll notice, you can watch a TED Talk, they're doing this constantly.
Yep.
There's this versus this, just like Sheldon did. What do you think the advantage is? Why would my audience be more receptive to my message if I did a lot of this? Thoughts?
I'm open to
I'm open.
okay.
Okay.
Welcoming.
Make yourself vulnerable.
Welcoming. That's
Yeah.
how I feel, like you're inviting people in.
Inviting. Yes. It's all of us. Yes. And why is that important for learning?
You gotta be open to learn, right?
Right, you have to connect to
Develop trust.
somebody.
Trust is key. If your audience, they'll know within the first 7 seconds, am I going to trust this person, and I'm going to just shut off and not pay attention. If they don't pay attention, they're not going to remember. Also, when I do this motion, what else might using this body language help your audience retain the information that you're sharing better?
You kind of relate. Better storage of what you're seeing, right? Better
Very,
indexing.
absolutely. Absolutely. It emphasizes your points. What else?
It relaxes you, and I think you learn better when you're relaxed.
Wonderful. Thank you, Lori. That's fantastic. I didn't think of that. What else? If I'm doing this, hey, everybody, it's really good to be here. Welcome to my class. Or I could do, hey, everybody, it's really good to be here. Welcome to my class.
Giving people a visual indicator that this is something that they should take.
A couple things. It engages multiple senses. And so the more senses you use in engaging your audience, the more memorable you'll be. Okay, so openness, palms to ceiling. The next one that you want to do, if you are talking about, I call it the this or that. So if you're comparing, say, two items, rather than just saying, hey, do you like cats or dogs better? You say cats, you do it with two different indications. Do you like cats or dogs? And then when you refer to each one of those items, you then gesture with this left palm. Here's my dogs. Yes, yes, or Democrats versus Republicans. It's very powerful. It'll help people pay attention longer. All right, let's see, what else? Measurements. Anytime you're trying to, if you're talking about, I want to show you a little bit of information, and then you're going to get a whole lot of impact for it. Or I just want, yes, a little. I call it a little and a lot.
Yeah.
And what are some other ways you can indicate measurements that way, besides just this? Did I do that? You did that. I've been thinking. What are some other things?
Count.
Oh, tiny, yes.
Do you make yourself tiny when you do it?
I do, yes, absolutely.
Sometimes it's really big to do this.
Well,
Wait.
yes, and that's, wow, the impact, thank you, Kate, the impact is very strong. All right, let's talk about some don'ts. Actually, before we do that, one other thing. When we're doing this, my open palm, it's critical that you, as most of you, keep your hands visible. People like to see your hands. As soon as you hide your hands for a prolonged period of time, why do you think that makes your audience potentially uncomfortable?
They're nervous. They're like nervous. Or,
True. True. Can
I was
be-
wondering why you're holding behind your back. What does she have?
What is she hiding, right? We're a biological species. And safety is our number one priority for our brain. We gotta protect ourselves. So potentially your mind, maybe it's subconsciously, is thinking, I wonder if Jill has a weapon. That's why we say hi, open palm, hi, I'm not having weapons, let's be friends. and that's still in your brains from way back when. All right, so keep that in mind. So as far as don'ts go, do you see a lot of trainers that'll put their hands in their pockets like this?
No.
You don't? I do all the time, or on TV clips. So like for a second it's fine, but then the hands are missing, right? If you do want to do that, keep your thumbs out.
Oh,
This is a
good
sign
to
of
know.
confidence. It'll make you feel more confident as well. Good.
Swagger.
Yes.
Now, I have a question. So let's say I wanted to communicate a message that would be perceived according to the body language that I'm using, even if it's negative. Is that your idea to use while in public speaking? I want it. If I want the audience to feel afraid or something, I hit my hand. Or, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. That is wonderful. You want to, in order for people to learn, emotion is a huge learning thing, to add that into it. If I'm like, I was really scared, they feel scared. Ah, I believe her. Thank you, Tom. Wonderful example. All right, a couple other don'ts. Pointing. Why would we not want to point? Tom, that was a great idea. Kate, you're wonderful. You're so nice. I'm saying nice things.
Then I have a good question. I've seen people use this once, what I was talking about. I've seen people use, instead of pointing and,
Up here.
going
Oh,
up.
that's
That's a preposition, that thing.
right. That's not gonna be like a number.
No.
1, 2. That's fine. When I'm pointing at you, how does that make you feel?
Right.
Targeted?
Hello.
Targeted, attacked. Yes, it's shame, you're attacked. It'll make them uncomfortable. So, but sometimes you want to point out, like, that's a good question. What are some other gestures you could use that keep the same effect as pointing, but keeping your audience comfortable? Open palm to the side.
How about you?
How about you? Or you? Absolutely. It doesn't have that same effect, but you still get what you need to do. A couple other things. So, what you don't want to do, and I'm just doing it now, talking about sometimes if you do the wrong type of gestures or in the wrong way, it'll be distracting. It'll actually detract from your message. So a couple of distracting things. When you're doing your hand gestures, you want to keep it, everyone point your about shoulders to your hips. Not in that zone. Okay? If you're doing a lot of outside like this, people will just get distracted and lose your message. So keep it in the straight zone. It's usually the most of the important gestures are basically from here up. Your face is included. I love you guys are like copying me. I love it. I love it. It's fantastic. Pardon me. Okay, so do's, don'ts, sometimes. Let's talk about some sometimes. And this is kind of like the one that you mentioned earlier, Tom, is sometimes I want them to feel a potentially negative emotion for a purpose. So one might be the fear when you're telling a scary story. One might be, I need you to stop talking. If I do this, how does that make you feel?
Like I'm being shut down.
Yes,
Dismissed.
very careful with this.
How about breaking a bad news?
Breaking bad news. I would be very empathy, open. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. Absolutely. Right.
How would you demonstrate active listening?
Wonderful. Thoughts. Thoughts. Eye contact. What else?
We mean active listening with body language?
Yes.
React.
Yes.
Yeah.
React to
Right.
what they're saying.
If you're listening, you shouldn't be talking.
Yeah.
So that, yes.
Yes, I can.
Nodding. It's called the triple nod. If you go 1, 2, 3,
Uh-huh.
people, that tells them subconsciously, keep talking.
Oh,
Wonderful. Okay, so a couple, sometimes there's a lot more to this. We have a module 2, and we are going to cover a lot more in depth. If you can sit down. So quick review. Let's see what we've learned today. What are some things we should do? Tell me and show me. Just shout it out. Open arms. Palms.
the little thing that you
Little. A lot.
Keeping the shoulder to the hip.
Shoulder, no jazz hands, very good. What we don't want to do in public speaking, point. That is really offensive. Point. Yes, hiding your hands.
Crossing.
What else? Speak to the hand, isn't that what they say? Speak to the hand.
Crossing.
Crossing, covering your vulnerable zone. If you touch this, this is a sign of insecurity. Be careful of that when you your necklace. Yes, yes, yes. You want to project confidence. It'll make your audience feel confident. And sometimes, can you give me an example of sometimes?
Telling a scary story.
Yes, a scary story.
Going outside the, when you watch
Sometimes it's like,
going outside the
thank you.
zone.